Hello Flosstube, my name is Kristen and this is a channel about cross stitch. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you very much for coming back. Today is March 1st, so this is a recap on my February projects, which were a theme for the month of February was fantasy, which you guys voted for me to work on, so I worked on everything. I worked on 6 projects, 4 that were for this month and the 2 that I work on every month. But before I show you those, I want to see, I'm waiting to buy fabric for my Mirabilia Tree of Hope, which was one of my Christmas presents this year. And I was playing on the fabric viewer and I really liked the way it looked on like a dark blue. And I have 3 sample pieces from Picture This Plus. I'm pretty sure I know which one I want to stitch on, but I was curious to see if you guys had any opinions. So I have a bunch of small samples from when I was trying to figure out what fabric I wanted to stitch my deep blue sea chatelaine on. So I dug them out. And I'm going to show you what the flosses are. So this is 20 count Lugana. These 3 are all Picture This Plus in the color Twilight, which it's darker. You guys are seeing it a little bit darker. It's almost a little more lighter and a little more teal. And my original thought was to do opalescent and maybe not stitch the beads. I still haven't decided that yet. But these are the flosses. My concern is with this color is the bottoms of their dresses, which I think actually are the water lilies that I'm going to show. I think just might not stick out good enough on this one. I think it might blend in too much. It's a pretty fabric, though. I like that one. And then I also have Mystic 28 count linen, also opalescent, which, again, almost has a little bit more of a green hue to it in person than you're seeing there. And it's not quite as dark as it looks. Oh, I didn't show the water lilies. Oops. Okay, so that's... Let me pull these out. These are the 4 called for water lilies. So I'm pretty sure this is the one that would be the bottom of those dresses. So that was kind of my concern. Oops, I don't lose it. It's kind of my concern with this one, on this fabric. And this one, when I get a new Mirabilia now, I actually go on the website and check because there are sometimes corrections, and this one was actually listed wrong on the chart, so I'm glad that I checked. So the one that I'm leaning towards is, whoops, I'm losing my threads, is Mystic, but non-opalescent, although I was kind of hoping for opalescent, but it's, again, not quite as dark as that, but I just think that might be a little bit better. And then water lilies on that. So I don't know. I'm thinking this one, but you guys can share your thoughts on that. And then I'd be interested to see what you have to say. So I stitched on 6 projects, like I said. 2 were new, and the rest were already whips. So this was the only Dimensions gold kit that I have. I got last year for my birthday, and this Magnificent Wizard. And I'm just stitching with everything that came with it. And I am not digging it. This is just stiff. Ugh. And I, in my typical fashion, screwed something up and had to frog a bunch and start over, which didn't make me happy either. That's where I am. So center start, right in the, I don't know, magic fire or whatever that is. I thought about, like, I don't have that much done yet. Maybe I should get a Lugana or something, or an even weave. Well, Lugana is even weave, but it's just super stiff. But it's also a kit, so it's 18 count, and I don't want to have to worry about running out of stuff, so we'll see how I feel when I take it out a second time. And then I also worked on Joan Elliot's Celtic Twilight, which was also a kit that I bought. she's released these now. This fairy re-released them, I think as a PDF, but this is Celtic Twilight, and then there's another one that looks just like her with pinks and more pastel colors. That's Celtic Dawn, I believe. So I'm using all the floss that came in the kit, but I'm stitching it on 28 count Lugana Barnwood from Picture This Plus. And I will put a picture of where I was at. I think I had only got her the blue part of her dress done, so I got a good chunk of her dress done. She's a fun one. I like that. It's just, I don't know, it's almost soothing, a soothing chart. It's, you know, bouncing around a lot and changing the floss a lot. And then my other new start, my only Bella Filipina, is Mayari. She's a big one. I tried to see if I could cut this fabric, and because I love this fabric so much, and maybe do like a couple pieces on it, but I just couldn't. And geez, some curl. So this is on 28 count linen Phantom by Picture This Plus. Sorry, I'm just going to wrangle it here. So I got a pretty good start on her. This never shows up good. There's a lot more purple tones to it that you can see. I'm trying to remember if I had to frog out of this one. I think I did. Yeah, it was not a good month for me of mistakes. But I was really enjoying that one too. I don't know if you guys, I mean, some charts are just more relaxing to stitch on than others, and I found that to be enjoyable. So I may start scoping around at other Bella Filipinas because I really enjoyed that so far. And then I stitched on Black Swan's Avatar. This was another whip that I had, and I'm pretty sure I got a lot of that cape done. Well, at least a good chunk of that cape done. This is also 28 count linen, and I believe it's like a Nordic blue. It came in a purchase I made from a woman online, and one of the Facebook groups was selling a whole, she had a huge stash. This is the only one that I got. But yeah, I did. I got a good chunk of that cape done. And I really enjoy that chart too. I don't know what it is about. I don't know if it's the linen. I don't know. I'm proud of this one because my stitches are pretty neat and tidy on that one. And I don't know why. It's not like I stitch different on other things, but I'm enjoying that one too. And then, so those are my 4 fantasy-based charts. And then my, what do you call them? Like my focus pieces. My non-coverage focus piece is Ink Circles Elemental Dragon's Fire. And I feel like I'd like to say I'll get it done next month, but I probably won't. But I feel like I could get it done by the end of April. And this is on 18 count Earthen from Picture This Plus in the Weeks Dye Works brick. I've been enjoying working on these two. Which I get to stitch on this and a different one next month, because when you guys voted, I got 9 votes, so thank you very much. And there's 5 votes for dragons and 4 votes for movies. So I'm going to stitch dragons for this month, March, and then I'm going to stitch the projects for movies in the month of April. So you guys got me all covered for the next 2 months. And then the last thing I stitched on was Outlander by Thread Geeks. And this is on 28 count, 2/1 half cross on Easy Guide. And I did count. I did 457 stitches, so I'm 9.37% done on this out of like 75,800 something stitches. But I focused more on filling in some of the pieces that I had missed, or stitches that I had missed, and I got a little bit done in here. So it's not going to look like much difference to you guys probably because they were just little one stitch here, one stitch there. I'm almost to Jamie's head because he's more than half the chart. So I feel like there's some. I checked ahead to see there's some redder looking stitches in here. So I think I'm getting there. I don't enjoy stitching on that one as much because I'm using all CXC flosses, which I have no problem with, except if I had thought ahead, I would have got 25 count because it's pretty stiff. Not stiff, but it's starting to get hard to kind of punch through in some spots. And yeah, if I had known that, I just would have bought different size. And I'm having issues with, you can see I've got, because it's cold and dry and nasty here, and I work in healthcare, so I wash my hands so much that I'm having some problems with, splitting open. So I've got, China's my, of course, not a great thumb to have problems with because I hit it like on the needle, so I have to, yeah. So for next month, obviously I'll be stitching on Outlander and the Fire Dragon. And then I'm going to be stitching on, I have a couple of new starts again next month. So the Month of Dragons set won the vote. These aren't really dragons, but they're Dragon E. This is Firewing Design Smoke. And again, I'm not certain that I picked good fabric for this. I was thinking Smoke Fire, that it should be like a fiery colored fabric, which I did get. But now I'm afraid his head's going to blend in. So anyway, I'll show you. I showed you last month. I'll show you again. The Weeks Dye Work set called for is very similar to the fabric, so I think I just may end up back stitching on the outside. And I'm not sure I want to stitch the words. So I'll just get them done. And it called for 4 or 5 metallics, which I decided I didn't want to deal with. So I bought, well, first let me show you the fabric. This is 28 count Lava from Picture This Plus. It's not quite as bright as it looks on screen. And as you can tell by the picture, there's not going to be a whole lot of big number of colors in there. And then we went with, well, this is the Weeks Dye Works, which is Fiesta, I believe. So I'll try to see if I can choose more orange, more yellow and red and less orange, and see if that will work. But we'll see how it goes. But I picked, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I had the sparkly DMC. So I'm going to use those instead of metallics. No, it's not. I don't know if you can see the sparkle in there. Because I really think, plus, like I said, it called for 4 or 5 metallics, and it was only for the star and maybe their eyes. So I just decided I didn't want to invest in that anyway. So we'll see. It's my only Firewing designs, so I'm interested to see how that looks. I have to go make a working copy of some of these so I don't ruin the chart. And then I'm going to work on my little Snapdragon by Custom Crafts, which I'm doing, I'm not totally certain. This might be 14 count. I started this back in 2020 when I just got back into cross stitch. So I had just discovered, I mean, when I was cross stitching a million years ago, there was, there was no online anything. There was just whatever you could get at the store, which I didn't have a lot of choices then either. So I've just, I fell down that rabbit hole, obviously. So this is Country Mocha, I believe. And I also discovered gridding, which this is just terrible, but it was my one and only time to, anyway. So that part looks terrible, but he's cute. That's where I am on the little Snapdragon. I haven't worked on this one in a long time. It'd be fun to get them out. And I'm just going to stick it back here. Then my other new start is going to be Dragon's Lair by Black Swan. I honestly can't remember where I found this. I found like a couple versions, so I don't know. Well, there might have been a knockoff version, but this one's not. Because some of the other ones I saw were just this interior part, which seems... Anyway, the only thing I don't have, there was a charm that it called for. Now I can't remember. Anyway, I didn't get the charm because I don't see it on here, but I think it called for some wooden charm. Anyway, I am going to stitch this on Opal 28 count linen, again from Picture This Plus. It's definitely more pink, like a pink hue to it in person. And these are the colors. The colors are pretty. It also called for one metallic and some beads, which these are like a medium purple and a dark purple. Right in my line of favorites. So those are going to be the new charts I stitch on for March. And then just because I had them pulled out, I'll show them to you. So for April, because it was almost a tie, I am going to work on Dusky Stitches Hobbit Door. I'll just show these real quick, which is I'm doing on a fabric flare in conversion into browns. And I'm also going to work on Magic Castle. This was Owl and Thread. This is another stiff fabric that I don't love, but whatever. I'm just going to keep going with it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's this way. I'm wondering if I should just wash them. I don't know. You think if I wash them, they'll unstiffen? And then I'm also, there will be no new ones in April. This is my first edition book cover Princess Bride chart that I did not write down on the back of it, the designer, sorry. And this is where I am. This is pretty sure this is 18 count. This is a fabric that I dyed, which is not as brash as it looks on the screen there. Because I am not stitching all of that red. And then I'm also going to work, I haven't worked on this in a long, long time, My Alien by Charting Creations by Diane Levin is the artist. This was a kit that I bought back in 2020, which is another half-cross chart. Oops, apparently I left some things hanging there. I didn't write down where I'm at because I'm not stitching on this till April anyway, but this is where I am. Super confetti heavy, and I'm still not a natural with the half cross, so that's going to get me through. And then I don't have it to show you, but I'll put a picture up. I think I have a picture for the fabric. I did buy fabric for Dancing Mermaid by Joan Elliot. This is a better picture. And if you've seen some of my previous videos, you will see me stitching my husband's P51 Mustang on this fabric that I really loved from Sunflower Printed Fabrics. It just, I don't know, it just had a nice feel to it, and I really liked it. And that, I'm pointing because you can't see it. I can see it from here. That was an Ada. I think that was 18 count, and it looked like the clouds. It looked like wispy clouds. It was really nice. And I've been eyeballing the other fabrics to see is there anything else that I can stitch on? So when I got this, I picked out an underwater fabric that looks pretty cool, which I am getting. I should have it by the next time I do a video. And I haven't gone through my stash to see flosses, but I did. I don't know if you guys have used these check glass beads. I went to Hobby Lobby because they had 50% off on the beads, and I was going to get Delicas, but then these were just yeah, I couldn't pass up the deal that these were in. There's so many of them, but I just got seed beads So I did get the beads for her chart, which we'll see when I get that fabric and do a floss toss if I need to convert anything, because I might have to. Well, you'll understand when you see the picture, but we'll see. So that's, yeah. So I don't need you guys to vote for any projects because you got me covered for the next 2 months, but you could drop me a line and give me some input on those fabric choices for the Dream Hope. And that, I know it's another quick one, sorry. And if there's any, I don't know, you can give me feedback. If you want me to change up what we're doing, that's cool too. You can give me some ideas. And I hope you guys have a good March. Well, spring, I say spring is coming for us, which is a good thing because it's been a pretty brutally cold and snowy month and a half or so. So I'm looking forward to some warmer weather once we get past the mud season. So I will see you at the beginning of April. Bye.